There has been a lot of new information on Pokémon Legends Z-A, as well as an announcement for Pokémon Presents. We'll save that for another video, but today we'll be talking about all the information revealed for Legends Z-A, as well as what this means for Switch 2 games in the future. So let's get into it. So if you guys didn't know already, Pokemon announced a Pokemon Presents for July 7th. As well as the release date for Pokemon Legends Z-A being October 16th. And alongside this, we got the reveal for the box art as well as the prices for the game itself. So if you guys didn't know already, the Pokemon Company announced a Pokemon Presents coming in July, specifically the 22nd, where there'll be, of course, more information regarding Legends Z-A and upcoming projects. They also revealed the Pokemon Legends Z-A release date as well, being October 16th. And alongside this information, we got key art, as well as the box art and prices. We got the official prices for the Switch 1 and Switch 2 edition games. Right now, pre-orders haven't started for the United States. I think it was actually announced to happen right after the Pokemon Presents. We've already gotten prices in the UK and Japan. And those prices are kind of interesting, specifically because I think this is the first time we've had an outside game be revealed for prices, disregarding Metroid Prime, because that honestly feels like a Switch 2 game that's gotten ported down to Switch 1. But Legends Z-A is definitely built for the Switch 1. From what we know, the Switch 2 edition doesn't have any extra content. It's just going to be an FPS boost, HDR support, and better textures. That could change with the Pokemon Presents, because from what it seems like is Switch 2 edition games also include a little bit more content. But when it comes from Metroid Prime Beyond and right now Legends Z-A, it doesn't seem that way. The Switch 2 edition games that we do have right now have like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and Kirby all feature some sort of extra content. So I'm interested to see if that's going to be the case for Metroid Prime and Legends Z-A, because I feel like we don't have all the information for both of these games. Getting back to the prices, they have been officially revealed for the UK and Japan from the Pokemon Company officially. As you can see right here on Twitter or X, they have a graphic detailing each of the prices as well as the release date and pre-order dates. I actually have a graphic I could pull up that shows each of the pricing, so we could get a rough estimate on what it'll be like in the United States. In the UK, the Switch 1 edition is €49.99 and €59.99 for the Switch 2 edition. That equates to about $63 for the Switch 1 and $76 for the Switch 2. And then in Japan, it's going to be about $46 or 7,100 yen for the Switch 1, and then $53 for 8,100 yen for the Switch 2 edition, averaging about kind of $10 for the upgrade fee for each of them. So if we're going to see that with the US pricing, it'll most likely be $60 for the Switch 1 and then $70 for the Switch 2. The same as we've seen for kind of everything else right now. I think a lot of people were actually worried that we might actually see an $80 Switch 2 edition, because I think we were all worried that this would be around an $80 game, because Tears of the Kingdom and Kirby and the Forgotten Lands is $80. Tears of the Kingdom is a little different because it was originally a $70 game, so you just add the $10 on top of it. That's how you get $80. And then Kirby and the Forgotten Lands has some extra content, so that's why it is an $80 price as well. When it comes to Breath of the Wild, the Switch 2 edition, that one is $70. It's about $10 across the board, and since the average upgrade fee is $10, it looks like this game is going to be a $60 Switch 1 game with a $70 Switch 2 edition game. The real question is, what does this mean for the future of Switch 1 to Switch 2 games? And I think the only two games we know about that right now being Tomodachi Life and Rhythm Heaven. I don't think Rhythm Heaven's going to get a Switch 2 edition, and I think maybe Tomodachi Life will. But for the future, if there's any other games that might get a Switch 2 edition, it seems that if there's any sort of extra content, it'll get a Switch 2, or it'll be $80. It seems like there's DLC added on top, it's 80. And if it's just like an FPS, HDR, or like mouse mode compatibility, it's gonna be the $70. So nothing that isn't too crazy when it comes to extra content. And I think I'm okay with that. I might do a video on like Nintendo's pricing right now, but honestly, I am okay with that. I'm okay with $60 game base, and then if I want to play it on better hardware, for 70. I do wish it was like a $5 upcharge, but considering that they're making this a physical and it's not just a Switch 1 game put into a Switch 2 card, I kind of get it. I don't know. I might be crazy. Honestly, we will have to see what exact features and stability improvements for the Switch 2 edition before I actually say that it's a good price. Because legitimately, honestly, if it's just 60 FPS, I'd still buy Nintendo. I'm a part of the problem, okay? I'm a part of the problem. But I'm hoping that it's HDR, FPS, and better textures. Bare minimum. If they add more than that, then I think it's more than worth the $10. And then it depends. If some reason in the United States it's $80, then I might be saying something a little different. It looks like based off of the UK pricing and Japan pricing, it's going to be a $60 Switch 1 game and a $70 Switch 2 game. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below, what does the Switch 2 version of Legends Z-A have to have for it to be worth $70? I think that's about it. I'm Crafty, and I will see you guys tomorrow.